Throughout your life, you have been wrong about women, and I'm going to prove that to you today. And just to warn you, this might be the most important video of your life, so I recommend staying until the end to not miss any information. With that said, let's get into it. Number 1, you will be used by her. When interacting with a woman, she will assess your strengths and weaknesses and determine what you have to offer. Along the way, it's important to be fully aware and conscious of the fact that if you heavily emphasize displaying your wealth and status, you will be seen as a source of material benefits with little or nothing else to offer. Because you paved the way for that. It's similar to a woman who dresses very provocatively, does things to get attention, and presents herself as easy. She sets the stage for men to see her as nothing more than what she's showing. On the other hand, if you lead with an authoritative and truthful stance, or also someone who shows their true self, demonstrating genuine intentions and authenticity, she will be more likely to be appreciative and value you for who you are. The key here is to be mindful of what you present and how you present it. Understand that your actions and behavior will shape how you are perceived. So don't go in with anything that's not reciprocal. By doing so, she will lose interest in you. It's a slippery slope because once you start this cycle, it's almost impossible to get out of it. We humans haven't evolved much since our ancestral days, when life was about survival. During those times, food was consumed only in season, and people worked extremely hard. So any kind of weakness or incompetence made you a burden that threatened the survival of the rest of the group. And just as the rest of the group relied on your strength and competence to survive, so did your woman at home. So strength was and still is one of the most important attributes you can possess as a man. Weak men were left to die, and strong young men were leaders of the group. The same is still true today. So, for most women, if they see you as a weak man, they will take your place as a man because they see it as survival. Even though we no longer live in those days. Number 2, nice guys usually finish last. There are 2 main reasons why this statement holds true. The first reason is that she's not done playing yet. One of the main reasons nice guys usually finish last is because when a woman finishes her proverbial bad boy phase and the desire to be a wife and mother begins to weigh on her, she will want to go back and settle down with a good man to start her life. A nice guy is usually the last man she settles for. The second reason is the nice guy stereotype. If you're a man described as sweet, sensitive, gentle, or shy, the vast majority of girls will not be attracted to you. For women, being labeled with these traits are not desirable traits in the eyes of most people. Norms and social expectations portraying these traits as weaker or less attractive in men also don't help because nice guys have the stigma of being boring and predictable. They are a major disadvantage for most women because they want to be with someone who commands respect, tolerates nothing less than they deserve, and leads without intimidation. Men who are overly focused on pleasing everyone and constantly seeking approval also lack authenticity, which appears insecure and inauthentic. Unfortunately, as long as passive labels are also associated with a nice guy persona, nice guys will always finish last. Number 3, most women lack empathy for men. Most women find it extremely difficult to have empathy for men's situations. This is partly due to differences in socialization and cultural norms. Men are constantly encouraged to act like men because emotions are seen as weak and real men don't cry. Thus, this emotionally desensitizes women's eyes towards men. This has made women not like men who they perceive as emotional. When most women see men, they see them as impenetrable and indestructible. The fact that he is still human with human emotions and feelings is pushed into the background. Number 4, most women like emotionally unavailable men. We humans tend to want what we feel we can't have. We want what's out of our reach. Most of the time, you'll find that women, even themselves, don't know why they're attracted to men like this. You'll hear them say things like, "I don't know, there's just something about him." This psychological phenomenon can be explained by 4 factors: 1, the principle of scarcity, 2, the challenge factor, 3, the mystery of the forbidden fruit, 4, the ego impulse. Number 5, most women will constantly test you. We have a detailed video on why women test you and how to pass them coming soon. But essentially, a woman will test you for many different reasons, but the common ones are: 1, she's assessing compatibility, 2, she's assessing reliability, 3, she's measuring trust, 4, she's assessing interest, 5, she's determining boundaries. Number 6, the main thing all women want is security. No matter what kind of woman you're dealing with, women instinctively want to feel safe with a man in all areas of life, monetarily, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Yes, the world has changed and women are more independent, with more willpower and self-sufficiency than ever before. But a woman's instinctive desire to feel protected by a man has not disappeared. It's an ingrained instinct that even the most independent woman will submit to. Every attribute a woman looks for in a man, whether it's masculinity, honesty, trust, stability, etc., always leads to a desire that she wants fulfilled, and that is the need for security. Making a woman feel secure is the key to her heart. That's why a woman will stay with and even remain faithful to a man she doesn't love or particularly like, because he has been so successful in making that woman feel secure in any way that when she weighs the pros and cons of the man, the benefit of the security he provides her will win every time. Number 7. A woman's physical desirability is everything to her. As I said before, girls grow up and are thrown into a world that values them for their beauty before girls even turn 3 years old. Our society teaches them that they are valued for their physical attractiveness. They are subconsciously and subliminally taught that being pretty is their first and most important duty. Think about how society talks to little girls. One of the first things we say to a little girl is something like, "Well, you're pretty, aren't you?" Or, "Well, look at all that beautiful hair." Or, "She's so pretty." These are the things girls experience as children that shape their reality as women. This causes an inflated sense of self and places an extreme importance on the need to be desired and wanted. So women start leading with their ego. They start equating their worth with their intimate desirability. This also creates a very vulnerable weak spot for women when they feel their physical appearance is lacking. Number 8. Attention is the primary motivator for most women. When a woman receives a substantial amount of attention, she feels that it equates to self-worth and self-validation. If she doesn't have a strong sense of security within herself, a woman's ego is much more fragile than a man's because of the society we live in. A woman places more emphasis on how she looks. Everything else comes second. That's why hair, nails, and makeup industries are multi-billion-dollar industries. Both subtle and obvious. That's why you have some women who just shamelessly show themselves off. Then you have others who will post the, "Oh, I'm just working out" picture while she's showing her whole body in the social media clips. Ultimately, attention is the greatest currency of a woman. Number 9. She usually won't be able to keep up with your desire for relationships. Because of biological signals and biological markers, a woman has an innate resistance to wanting to have relationships frequently because natural selection has conditioned her mind to equate this with biological and social complications that result from it. That's why women usually have a substantially lower desire than men. So, you'll have trouble finding a woman who can really keep up with your desire for long-term relationships. Now, I'm not talking about the honeymoon phase when everything is new and you just want to tear each other's clothes off 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When you get to know each other better and the novelty of the relationship has worn off a bit, you'll find that her desire usually decreases too. So, those are the 10 hardest realities about women that men learn too late. With that said, until the next video. See you later. Goodbye.